is there a scenario where a startup can fail the DD process? Like, can you guys agree to invest, and then there's something happens, the due diligence guys kind of discover something, and then you go back and it's like a no go? Is this something you build into the term sheet, or how does it work?
Yeah. So usually in the term sheet, I think it says very clearly that it's subject to due diligence, which will be conducted, and the legal and the business, technical, etc. So it is subject to all of those due diligences being completed satisfactorily.
So for you, I think we did the financial one, a legal one, and like a tech one, right?
Yeah.
And that's the standard across.
That's the usual standard. And your question, I think, on could there be a red flag that comes up in any one of those? It's possible. So, for example, I mean, we have seen perhaps one case where we've gone through this entire process. We've spent all of this time understanding, the business, the pipeline, the contracts, all of it. But we haven't, and the company had quite a bit of revenue and a lot of contracts. So each contract has not been reviewed, which would be done in this formal process. When we get to the formal financial and commercial due diligence and every contract has been evaluated, we found discrepancies.
So you'll evaluate everything?
It will be done.
Okay.
It will be done.
Nice. So again, when Pratima says it will be done, it will not be done by her, but actually by third-party vendors, usually like, I don't know, due diligence, financial, is somebody in the financial sector. I think for the tech one, we spoke to
So we'll have outside consultants who will come in and do each segment, and they will go in with a fine-tooth comb to make sure everything that exists. If there are commercial contracts, they will review all of them. For technical, they will look at, I don't think they look at the source code, but they'll spend a lot of time looking at the architecture.
He did spend some time looking at the source code with me, and so
highlighting what's good practice. For example, if the CI/CD practices are not good, then he will write a report saying, look, these things we think need to be fixed.
It was the technical one was rather interesting. The financial one, like my main question was like, what are you going to do financial due diligence on? There's nothing, but there were still things that they spent. So how long? I remember that lasting like at least a month and a half. Is that like, so if you're raising the round, you have to account that in, and if you don't have the money, you have to give it a bit more buffer until that money kind of arrives. So how long does it usually last, in your opinion?
So I mean, if we start from day one, for example, like first meeting with the company, first meeting to the IC could be 4 weeks.
Okay.
I think in a standard process, not in the crazy sort of 2001, 2002. I think there was madness where you'd meet a company on Monday, they'd want a term sheet on Friday. I don't think that's normal. So 4 weeks to get to an IC and get a term sheet. And then perhaps another 4 to 6 weeks for this formal due diligence where we're getting the outside consultants who are conducting all of this due diligence and supporting the process. And they come back with the reports and they share it both with the company and with us.